The good news is that there is a lot of agreement between different investments and numbers right now if you want to get rich. The strange mix of events happens just a few days before the altcoin season. This has only happened once before, and now it looks like a string again. Because of this, we shouldn't be shocked. In fact, we should be happy. I will also give you the thoughts of 10 different XRP chart analysts. One of them will only say that XRP wants to go up in value and then make his case. Whether it happens today, tomorrow, or next week, I'm sure it will happen sooner rather than later. There is a reason why all of the professional chart watchers I follow are so sure that XRP will break out of this market cycle. Most of them think that XRP will likely go up by 2 digits. Also, I have to say that it's crazy for me to think that XRP is already well above $3 today before the chaos even starts. That is crazy. Could that be used as a starting point instead of $49? The happiness hasn't worn off yet, and some people are still worried even though we're over $3. A lot of people, in fact. I mean, think about it. Think about all the things that are linked, the coming together, everything. And aside from Bitcoin's popularity, Ethereum has broken through a major resistance level today. The XRP chart structure is also interesting. A number of old coins are also ready. Some are already breaking out, and some have already hit new all-time highs. Gold looks pretty weak, huh? The world's M2 level has only gone up. We also know that the cryptocurrency trading class follows the chart in a technical sense. There is a strong link. For more than 10 years, it has been linear more than 90% of the time. You can only hope for it. It comes true. CoinLife CoinWatch says that XRP is up to $3.37 this morning, but it is only $3.29 right now. Bitcoin costs $116,890. Because of this, the price is mostly moving in a straight line. But I'm going to give you some advice from chart experts on why this won't last for long. Bitcoin will go through the roof, but it will also fall apart at the same time. To begin, it's because of how it's currently set up, and it's hard to find M-chart experts who think that Bitcoin's control looks strong. We do know, though, that this happens right before the alt season and at the end of each cycle. So that's a part of the confluence I talked about. M, if the price of Bitcoin gets out of hand, what does that mean? Bitcoin isn't worth much. This is why the price of Bitcoin should go up. We made it neutral. The person sent to show authority will just say no. After that comes the alt season. There is a place to jump. Dom, who looks at charts, wrote this post. On the market right now, it is near the top of 2 rising trends, the 12-month RVWAP and a strong support zone. He also said that Bitcoin's popularity is about to drop off a rock. There was a rise here a few weeks ago that pushed the old coins up, and it was the first time in the whole cycle that there was no V turnaround on a pullback. I keep a close eye on this because the ground can tell me what the old coins will do in the next few weeks. So he knows that he needs to be very careful when he says things like that. I learned that from him, but he did see something important. When Bitcoin's power starts to fall in this way, it usually just goes through a V reversal. It goes straight up again. This doesn't happen for the first time. It doesn't go back up quickly. That's not what it does at all. Just like that happens right before the end of a market period, you would expect and hope for that to happen. After that, a feel-good state takes over. Among them are the M and A opportunities that could change everything, which he thinks might be used soon. This is great news for people who own XRP. This is a post for Swissblock, and here you can do a number of old on-chain studies. You are looking at a Bitcoin dominance picture right now. When Bitcoin dominance tries its long-term rising channel, which is yellow, you definitely agree with Dom's point of view. You wrote that Bitcoin's lead is about to change. These yellow lines on your screen show that the gearbox performance and volume have dropped. For those of you who look at the screen, the red circle shows a support gap, and the pointer on my mouse is there. It was said that the previous season would be sped up and that there would be a break for more than 2 years to support the first season, and so on. These are just a few examples. I could also make a whole movie using only samples from trustworthy sources. I tell you, this is generally agreed upon. Bitcoin doesn't have a lot of power. This is great news for people who like old coins. You should be killed if you're a harmful Bitcoin maximalist. It looks like you're getting sad. That's what I meant. This post was written by chart expert Mikey Belgripto. The graph shows the price of Ethereum USD. It shows a breakout and a new test of the price goals between $6,000 and $10,000. It's important to note that Ethereum is used here for some useful purposes, and it costs over $4,000. Do you remember when Ethereum was selling at about $1,400 a few months ago and everyone said it was dead? When the price goes down, it's over. XRP2 last year. Do you remember that? It's just stupid. The price of an object doesn't always show how profitable it will be in the long run. Actually, most of the time, people who are emotional are the only ones who engage and do emotional things. That's why I thought Ethereum would go through the roof when it was around $1,400. Also, if you look at the Ethereum BTC chart from the past, you can see that when this combo hit such a low point, that's when it turned around. You can see that it turned around. Last year, I said the same thing about the XRP/BTC pair. Markets get better after going down for a while. Things that are undervalued are fixed by the market. This is where it happens. If you have XRP, that's great because this is how Ethereum has generally grown. That's what the whole season is about. Furthermore, the $4,000 market is a big one. So let's hope it stays strong and finally works. During this cycle, however, Ethereum has not hit a new all-time high. But I think it's about to happen. What made this gift go away? Is this person here? Yes, right now. It follows that Mikey Crypto's prediction that the high point of this cycle would be between $6,000 and $10,000 also meant that the low point for XRP would be $12 when it reached $6,000. Also, there is a case study of this happening before. When XRP reaches this market cap, Ethereum will have grown to between $20,000 and $10,000, which means that each XRP will be worth $20. So making guesses about it is not unreasonable. Mustache, a chart expert, helped with this. Tags should be put on old coins. It may sound crazy, but I think it's more than $10,000. It is trying to get out of the right-angled rising falling wedge that has been growing for more than a year.